Hello, and welcome to Swans and Cake, the podcast by me, Berlin. Today's episode is another one in the series This Is Me. Today's episode is called Formation. I hope that you enjoy listening to it. This week, I went to one of my local parks, one that I often went to as a child with my dad. In the park, I went over to the bird area. There's a large cage, and inside it, there are many small and colourful exotic birds. Last Saturday, the cage was alive with birdsong, and I was surprised by the volume of it and how all the birds seemed to cheep along happily together. I spent a long time looking at the birds. Birds have always fascinated me. I love the idea of having the freedom to fly anywhere in the world. The freedom to make your home in any place that you'd like. And the freedom to sing. Recently, as London has slowed down and things have become more quiet, my mum and I have been surprised by the birdsong that we've heard. Our garden has become a concert hall. The flowers are the backdrop, and the birds are the musicians. We have also, on occasion, been startled by a lone rooster in the early hours of the morning who crows and welcomes in the day. This wild London is very different from the one that I've always known. London somehow feels like it's changing. It's reforming in more ways than one. This week, I've been listening to lots of songs by Beyoncé. She's an amazing performer and always gives her all. Today's episode is called Formation, inspired by the song of the same title by Beyoncé, and also inspired by my conversations this week with friends. In the song Formation, Beyoncé sings these lyrics. I like my baby hair with baby hair and afros. I like my Negro nose with Jackson 5 nostrils. Earned all this money, but they never take the country out of me. I've got hot sauce in my bag, swag. At the time of writing this song, Beyoncé had recently had a child. There was lots of negative things said online about the appearance of her daughter, Blue Ivy. People commented that her afro hair was not what they thought a child of Beyoncé would have. They also commented on the shape of her nose. Beyoncé's song challenges these ideas. First of all, it's not okay to criticize someone's appearance, especially the appearance of children. Beyoncé's song also challenges the Western idea of beauty. I suppose the idea of a Western princess, like Snow White, Cinderella, and even Elsa, are often seen as beauty goals or beauty ideals. But the majority of the world, well, the majority of young girls, can never grow up to be this kind of ideal. As a teacher, I always try my best to consider what I say subconsciously. Whose art do I teach about? Which stories do I choose? And whose stories? If I teach and only show images of one race or class of people, what am I subconsciously saying? Am I subconsciously saying that only one race or only one type of people's stories should be heard or should be seen? I try to recreate within my classroom the best of the world that is outside it. The world that is beautiful, diverse, and multicultural. I believe that my classroom and my teaching content should always be inclusive, as my teaching ethos is. I believe actions speak louder than words, and children learn so much by what is unsaid. A few weeks ago, we spoke about David Bowie and about his song Heroes, in which he sang, "We could be heroes just for one day." I asked you, if you could be a hero for one day, what would you do? And who would you save? I also asked myself the same question. I would save the children around me. I would help them to really see that they are special, or continue to help them see that. I think it's important that every child knows that they are special, important, and beautiful, just as they are. The singer Nina Simone sang the song Young, Gifted and Black. She sang these words: "To be young, gifted and black. Oh, what a precious dream. To be young, gifted and black. Open your heart to what I mean. In the whole world, you know, there are a billion boys and girls who are young, gifted and black. That's a fact." In the past, well, it continues to be, but history is often divided into AD and BC. I feel that our modern timeline is now divided into BL and PL. BL, before lockdown, and PL, post lockdown. I think that this pandemic has made us all stop and rethink so many of our ideas. I feel like I've learned so much and been challenged by so much. The video of George Floyd being held down and killed shook the world, and it shocked me. It opened my eyes to the large number of people who have been killed by police brutality. If I tried to read out all the names of those people who have been killed in police custody, it would take such a long time because the list is so long. It made me realize that although the USA is not fighting a war on its own soil now, there is a kind of war on the streets. A war where one side is armed and the other side fights, often empty-handed. The poem For the Fallen by Lawrence Bignon was written as a response to World War I. But somehow now It seems sadly appropriate, and I'll read it for you. I'll read an extract from the poem now. For the Fallen. They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe. They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. They mingle not with their laughing comrades again. They sit no more at familiar tables of home. They have no lot in our labour of the daytime. They sleep beyond England's foam. But where our desires are, and our hopes profound, felt as a wellspring that is hidden from sight, to the innermost heart of their own land they are known, as the stars are known to the night. As the stars that shall be bright when we are dust, moving in marches upon the heavenly plain. As the stars that are starry in the time of our darkness, to the end, they remain. I'll also read an extract from the poem If by Kipling. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for the doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things that you gave your lives to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they're gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. As we sit in the eye of the storm, the middle of this pandemic, I feel changed by what I've experienced, and also by what I've seen. I've changed, and I hope that post-lockdown that I will remain changed and not return to my pre-lockdown self. I felt before the lockdown that I sometimes, without realizing it, was living my life on an autopilot. But we're not meant to be human robots. Wake up, go to work, relax, sleep, have fun at the weekend, start again. I got used to not questioning things in a way, or not challenging how I thought about things. We're now living in a new kind of strange, dark age, but it will end. We have to keep walking through this darkness until we wake in the dawn of something new. As Beyoncé sings in her song, All Night, we need to love all night long. Maya Angelou's poem, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, ends like this. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. My PL dream, my post-lockdown dream, is that I want everyone to live in a world where we have true freedom internationally. I want to see the formation of a truly inclusive global community. Listener, post-lockdown, who will you choose to be? And what post-lockdown world do you want to live in?